Hello, hello, and welcome to my Stampin' studio. I'm Mary Knabe, coming to you live on Tuesday, July 2nd from Westerville, Ohio. I hope you had a fantastic weekend. I sure did. I hosted a team event at my home on Saturday. Kind of an all-day event, 10 to 4, but I think we went to almost 5. And I had a special guest from Stampin' Up, one of their demonstrator development managers. Elizabeth Belleville was here and she brought some kits for us. We worked with card bases and matching envelopes and ephemera packs. I had some make and takes with new product that is being released tomorrow, July 3rd. We played a fun game. I had lunch for all my guests. Just a great day. I mean, I truly felt like my heart was full when that day ended. So much learning, so much sharing and inspiring, and just great fun with great people. So I'm truly grateful for all the team members that attended, as well as Elizabeth Belleville coming from Utah for the event. And yeah, that was most of my weekend. Spent a little time with the family since then. Went to library time discovery outside Discovery Zone with Riley this morning, so that was kind of fun, and a nice break from my work. There is a lot happening that I quickly want to tell you about before I share with you this fun inky technique, I'll call it. Tomorrow is the last day to, and I think I had July 2nd, but it's actually July 3rd. Tomorrow is the last day to register for my two-market, oops, where am I going here? For my two-market class to go. You'll make 8 cards, 2 of each of these 4 designs, and then you'll make 2 gift card holders with this design. All the information about my 2-market class to go is on my website /blog, stampinpeace.com. So get all the information there. The deadline to purchase options 1 and 2, that's with or without the bundle, is July 3rd. And you can purchase just the PDF tutorial on stampinpeace.com, go to shop, and then PDF tutorials at the bottom of the drop-down menu. Tomorrow, July 3rd, is a big day because there is a lot happening. First of all, we begin our bonus days. So from July 3rd through the 31st, for every $50 you spend, Stampin' Up! Is going to send you a $5 coupon code by email. And then you can redeem those codes with your purchases in August. There is no limit to the amount of coupon codes you can earn, and it's throughout the whole month. So you could even do, say, 3 $50 orders and you're going to get 3 codes, or you can do a $100 order in one order and get 2 codes, but there's no limit. Let's see, what else is happening tomorrow? We will have 2 new kits. These are kits that Elizabeth Belleville, DDM, brought to my team event on Saturday. Unfortunately, I'm not allowed to show you those until they are released to the public tomorrow, July 3rd, but they're really great, really great. Okay, so take a look at those. Also, there will be several new online exclusive products released tomorrow, July 3rd. I'm going to be showing you one of those bundles that I'm really excited about, but there are some things for holidays, masculine cards, all kinds of fun things. So I'll be working with those and sharing those with you over the next few weeks. And oh, the Glass Mat Studio. If you have been waiting to purchase the glass mat that you see me using in my lives now, you can do that starting tomorrow as well. And that's $60. It comes with the chamois, and it has like a silicone craft mat that goes with it. $60, it's great. In fact, I got rid of any of my prior desk mats this weekend because I will never go back to using anything else except my glass mat. So if you've been waiting for that, it is coming to customers tomorrow, July 3rd. All right, let's get started with today's projects. I'm going to be making 2 cards from one technique that I show you. While I flip my camera around, would you please share this live video and invite others to join us for some creative inspiration? Okay, as I said, this is the glass mat that I use. You'll want to check it out. And again, any of these specials, I sent an email newsletter out earlier today. Unfortunately, you won't be able to see the new products until they are released tomorrow. So just be aware of that. If you try to see those new online exclusives right now, you won't be able to find them in the online store, not till tomorrow, July 3rd. And it's midnight Mountain Time. Okay. So for me, it's 2 a.m. Eastern Time on July 3rd, just in case you're one of those that's up, you can't sleep, or you just can't wait to see all the new products. All right. For this technique, this is called the swiping technique. Did anybody have children that watched Dora the Explorer? Somebody told me recently that Dora the Explorer is still on TV, but in there was a character named Swiper, and Swiper would swipe or steal the backpack or the map, etc. So when I first learned of this swiping technique, my first thought went to Swiper, which is a fun memory of sharing with my kids. Now, for this technique, I'm going to show you the technique, and then, I'll show you the new product later. But for this technique, I'm using Peach Pie, Cajun Craze, and Lost Lagoon. And when you see the cards that I make, you'll realize that you'll be able to come up with lots and lots and lots and lots of different color combinations. So I like to start with the lightest color first. Probably not necessary, but just one of those things I learned growing up. You always start with the lightest color when you're coloring, that sort of thing. And one thing I would tell you too is a lot of times I don't open up my ink pads all the way. I might just push them and leave a little space. That way it's easier for me to grab and flip them closed. But for this technique, you do need them opened all of the way. So in other words, push that ink pad in until it stops. And I'm just literally going to swipe my ink pad across. And you can go any direction. You can go on top of the colors, let them blend and mix a little. It's all quite good. I'm going to go over that with some, oops, I'm going to do a little more, some Cajun Craze. And I think I'll go across the bottom with the Cajun Craze too. And lastly, I'm going to use Lost Lagoon. I'm going to pull, I'm thinking fall-like, but I wanted to pull in this blue-green color. And just to make it easier for me to hold this, I'm going to flip that around. And then I'm going to swipe. And again, I'm not going to worry about going over the other colors. If you like what you see, mixing some of the shades, you can certainly do that. In fact, I might go over this a little bit lightly with my Cajun Craze. So you're going to get varying blending and tones and various things in your swiping. Almost looks like kind of a modern art thing to me, doesn't it? And by the way, I used, let's see, I think this is 6x6. Yes, I used a piece of regular white, basic white cardstock. Mine was cut from a 12x12 sheet, just so I don't have any waste. But 6x6. And you will see it is a little bit larger than the hybrid or the dies I'm going to be using, but I did that intentionally, and I'll show you why. But before I do that, let me just show you, show you the elements of this bundle. So you get the Changing Leaves stamp set, okay? And I love the sentiments. Look at that. Here for you. Oh, I can think of so many people to send a card to using that sentiment. It's got this really nice die set, including ones for sentiments, plus some bonus dies. Bonus dies meaning they don't directly match up with the stamps. And then finally, we have this Changing Leaves Hybrid Embossing Folder. So this is part of that die set, right? So Hybrid Embossing Folder means there is one large die that fits into this 3D embossing folder. If you were holding this now, you would see it kind of just fell into place, locked into place. You can use the die separate. You can use this pretty embossing folder separate, or you can use them together to emboss and die cut at the same time, which is what I'm going to do right now with my very inky cardstock. And again, for this, I used Peach Pie, Cajun Craze, and Lost Lagoon. And you can see, I've even got this greenish here when the Lost Lagoon went over the top of the Peach Pie, and different shades of oranges. And I'm just going to put it down like that. And by the way, here's a tip to know what side that this fits on and locks into place. It's the side with the Stampin' Up! Logo. Okay, can you see that? It's the side with the Stampin' Up! Logo. Just slide it around and it'll fall right into place where you need it. Then I'm going to lay my cardstock on top of that with the ink side down. And then for hybrid embossing folders, you want to use plate number 1 and plate number 4. Okay, 1 and 4. And we'll open this up, pull up our die. Let me get some of these things out of the way. Okay, look how nicely this cuts. And can you see the texture on these leaves? Absolutely amazing. Can you see that texture? Isn't that cool? And then you're left with this. Now, I said I'm going to be making 2 cards with you. So I'm using these die cut leaves for 1 card. And then I'm also going to be making a small note card. And what I'm going to be using there is I'm just going to cut out some of the leaves. I'm going to fussy cut quickly and easily, fussy cut some of the whole leaves that were embossed. With that hybrid embossing folder. So in other words, that embossing folder the die does not cut out everything on that hybrid embossing folder. But you can use your paper snips and just quickly and easily cut around the edges of some of those leaves. Here's another whole leaf. I want to cut that out. And I'm just going right along that raised or embossed edge of the leaves I'm cutting. As I'm cutting, here's a couple of tips when you are fussy cutting with your paper snips. Instead of having my scissors straight up, I like to turn them kind of at an angle. That way I can see exactly where my blade is going, whether it be I'm cutting along a line, or in this case, I'm cutting along the embossed edge of my leaves. The other thing is you're hand holding the paper, and the paper should be moving more than the paper snips themselves. Okay, let's do one more here. I'm not sure if I'll use all four, but there are, I see on here 4 full leaves. So again, see how I can do more accurate cutting if I tilt the blade of my paper snips to the right a little bit. And if I move the paper more than I do my scissors. Okay, so let's make some cards. I am going to bring my scrap paper in here so I don't forget that I need to use it one more time. Yes, Tony, you are exactly right. You can use those other leaves that are around the outside edges of the cardstock and put them on the inside of your card as well. You could even put them on the front if you want. In fact, I shared that tip with my team on Saturday, only we were using DSP. I think it's time to get another glue out. There we go. And I'm just putting some glue in the center of these large leaves. I should have thought to arrange these before I actually put the glue on that first one. Yeah, I like that. Just a little, you don't need a whole lot. I do find that I prefer the liquid glue, the multi-purpose glue for this. The reason being there's so much texture on here. I think it's easier to, for the cardstock to adhere because of the texture if you're using the multi-purpose glue. Now, you can let things hang off a little bit, but for my A2 cards, I want to trim off any pieces that are hanging over the edge of my 4 by 5 1/4 piece of cardstock. Put that there. So I've got this. And I'm going to save these for just a moment. And before I attach this to my card front, I'm going to splatter some ink on. Okay, splatter some ink on. Ooh, on camera, this on the your screen, this peach pie looks more yellow than it actually is. Okay, these are the colors I'm using. So it's interesting that peach pie looks more yellow on the screen. All right, to do the splatter, I prefer to use Stampin' Blends. I typically use the darker of the two colors, but it doesn't matter, whatever is your preference. And I want to use the wider end, the paintbrush tip. And just going to open that. I'm never going to touch that tip, but with another Stampin' Blend, I'm just going to tap on that, moving it around, and I'll hold this up to the camera a little closer so you can see better what that splatter looks like. It's just very, 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 very subtle. Do you see the splatter now? Just very, very, very subtle. Okay. And again, it really is peach pie. It looks so yellow on the screen. So let's finish off this card and then we'll make our second card. So this is going to be the front of my card. I have a white that is the same size as that peach pie on the front, 5 1/4 by 4 inches. Put that on the inside. Put this on the front, I think. And I'm going to leave this card blank because I am going to give this away. It's a nice fall card, but it could also be a birthday card, sympathy, thinking of you, just because, whatever. I'm not going to put a sentiment on this one so that the person who wins this can put whatever sentiment they want on it. So attach this to the front. And I'm going to use, I don't know if I told you this, I was telling my team the other day at the event that these texture dots really are my new favorite embellishment. I just absolutely love them. They're metallic and the texture is, I don't know, just pretty subtle. Like, do you see that? Almost has like a golf ball look to it, like divots. And they are super thin. Can you see how thin they are? So they don't create any bulk for those cards that you're mailing. And speaking of mailing cards, postage stamps are increasing in price, I believe by 5 cents. I think it's July 14th. So buy them now. Buy some forever stamps. I just went online today at USPS.com. I like to buy mine there because they have a better selection of postage stamps than I can get in my local post office. So I just went to USPS.com today and ordered a bunch more forever postage stamps. Okay, so it's pretty good savings if you can get them before July 14th. And I'm not complaining about price. Don't want to go there. Everything is increasing in price. But I will say a postage stamp is still the most economical way for us to reach out to other people, to stay connected. And I'm trying to think what my friend Julie Heights said the other day. Oh, Julie, if you're listening, post that quote again. Something about, I want to say it was something about the cost of a stamp is worth the hug in the mail or worth the happy mail, something like that. And I think that's so true. So I will be giving away that card today, but let's make a second card. And this one, I'm going to be using the note cards. I love these note cards. They come in a package of 20. They're already cut and scored, have the envelopes, and these are mailable. The finished card measures 5 by 3.5. This is the smallest size that you can mail with a regular postage stamps. Okay. So like I said, I did not put a sentiment on my first card, but this one I think I am, just because. But which sentiment I use, let's use this one. So I'm going to, this is a little note to brighten your day. I love that sentiment. So I'm going to stamp it just about there. So I want to kind of place my leaves, but not adhere them yet. And then I'm going to stamp them with Cajun Craze, one of the 3 colors I used for swiping. See if I can stamp that straight. It's pretty easy since that's a photopolymer stamp set. And now, instead of gluing these, I'm actually going to use some dimensionals or mini dimensionals to adhere them to this white layer. Just because it's fun and different. Oh, before I put these on though, I'm going to add some baker's twine. I'm going to double up my baker's twine and just wrap it around my cardstock above the sentiment and then tie a knot. When you're doing something like this, you don't have to worry if you're getting, I'm kind of estimating where I want that knot to end up, but it doesn't have to be perfect because I will show you my trick for getting it in exactly the space I want. So the knot isn't quite where I want it. I want to move it a little more to the left. So to make that easy to do, I'm just going to gently bend my cardstock. That loosens up that twine, linen thread, ribbon, whatever you're using, and then you can slide it back and forth into place, okay? And if you do that, you bend the cardstock before you move it back and forth into place, you aren't gonna damage your cardstock at all. Okay, I like that. I like that where it is. Make sure it's even. And now I'm ready to put my leaves on. Robin Logue, I am so happy to hear you like my one sheet wonders. And that's a good reminder for me to tell you that I do have my July one sheet wonder PDF tutorial ready. It can be purchased on stampinpiece.com for, I want to move this a little bit, for $18, one sheet wonder template, card sketches, everything. And this month I am featuring the Frames and Flowers Specialty Designer Series paper. and I've used the Simply Said stamp set for the sentiments. Now, I typically demonstrate my monthly 12 by 12 one sheet wonder on the first Thursday of each month. Obviously, this Thursday is the first Thursday of July, but it is the 4th of July or Independence Day holiday here in the US. So therefore, I will be spending time with my family, but I will post a video of that demonstration, a pre-recorded video of that 12 by 12 one sheet wonder demonstration for July on my blog, stampinpeace.com, as well as my YouTube channel, which is Stampin' Peace with Mary Knabe. So you can look for that on Thursday, July 4th, because that is the first Thursday of the month, which is when I typically share my monthly 12 by 12 one sheet wonder, okay? And there's two ways that you can you'll get everything you need in the demonstration, in the video. However, if you're like me, you like to have a download version, something you can keep and refer to later. If you want that, along with the one sheet wonder template, the card sketches, as well as the cutting dimensions, instructions, everything for the cards that I make, you can either get it free when you place a $50 order with me in the month of July 2024, or you can purchase it at stampinpeace.com for $18, and it's already up in my PDF store. All right, so I'm glad you reminded me of that. So, and I already forgot who said that, but thank you. I'm glad you like those one sheet wonders. So here are the two cards I made with that swiping technique. And honestly, every time you do this technique, you're going to get one-of-a-kind cards. That's why I love this technique so much. It's easy, it's fun, doesn't require any special equipment or special tools or anything like that. Everybody can do it. Everybody can swipe an open ink pad across cardstock, right? Okay. If you're interested in receiving, I've got more samples to show you of other colors. If you're interested in having your name put into the drawing to possibly receive one of the cards made in this Facebook Live, please type in the comments now, Changing Leaves. Changing Leaves. That's the name of the bundle that I used. That bundle you'll be able to see online tomorrow, July 3rd. If you're looking today on July 2nd, you won't see it. You'll have to see it online tomorrow, starting July 3rd, okay? Now let me show you some other ones I made. Let's push these. So these two cards were made with, I have my little cheat sheet, copper clay, crumb cake, and pumpkin pie. Copper clay, crumb cake, and pumpkin pie. And think of what a bright, vibrant color pumpkin pie is. But when I've mixed it with copper clay and crumb cake, it's more subdued, isn't it? I love how these turned out. And on this one, this layer is, let me think for a second, basic beige, the new basic beige color. It looks really cool on a crumb cake background too, okay? And then I also made these. Oh, did I point out here that I did stamp the sentiment up here in the top corner, top right corner, and then I placed my leaves around it, okay? Here I placed my leaves first, and I just wanted to use that small "Here for You" sentiment. Pretty cool, huh? And that die does come with the Changing Leaves bundle. And then here's the note card I made. So the colors here for this set are Cajun Craze, Mossy Meadow, and Pumpkin Pie. Okay, Cajun Craze, Mossy Meadow, and Pumpkin Pie. Look at this color though. Look at how different that is than the three colors I actually used. That's what happens when you mix and blend and swipe one color over another. And then, do you want to see the ones that my team made on Saturday for their event? I'll show you these. Now for these, we used Wild Wheat, Lost Lagoon, and what's the other one? Pretty Peacock, I think. Let me double check. Yes, Wild Wheat, Lost Lagoon, and Pretty Peacock. Now, I want you to look at this other set because we used the same three colors, but look how different the leaves turned out. Wild Wheat, Lost Lagoon, Pretty Peacock. I don't know if you can see this, but you can see a little bit of Wild Wheat here and here. I had Wild Wheat, and then I went over it with, I believe, the Lost Lagoon, and I got this greenish color. It's almost an old olive color, but I didn't use old olive at all. So what a fun way. So in here is a perfect example of every card is unique because I use the very same colors on both of these sets. Each card is completely different. All the leaves completely different and unique. What a cool technique to make one-of-a-kind cards. Super fun, super easy. I hope you enjoyed today's demonstration of the swiping technique and how to use the Hybrid Embossing Folder, the Changing Leaves Hybrid Embossing Folder. So you can see those products tomorrow online with lots of other goodies. Other ones I've purchased are, there's one with a train engine, a locomotive, something adventure. I don't remember. I purchased the Potions and Spells bundle, which is a Halloween theme. What else? The Sophisticated Sledding bundle. Made some pretty cards with that. A lot of these and a few other things I purchased with the demonstrator pre-order. So I'll be sharing these products with you very soon. But you will find lots of new products, not just the ones I purchased. There were many that I did not purchase yet. So take a look at that. Again, I will not see you this Thursday, July 4th, because I will be celebrating the holiday and spending the holiday with my family. I hope whatever you do here in the U.S. that you have fun and are safe and enjoy being with people that make you happy. And again, on Thursday, look for the July One Sheet Wonder PDF tutorial. It'll be a pre-recorded video. All right, everybody, have a great night, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Until then, happy stamping.